we are learning stack data structure, and we have learned about the theory of stack data structure and programming of these structures using Java. Also we have learned about it. Now, in this video lecture we will try to learn about how the Java can the stack can be realized in a program using Java collection framework. So, the topic that will be covered here. So, Java supports for the stack realization, a support regarding how a stack can be created, how a stack can be initialized, and then stack related different operations like insertion, deletion, traversals, and few mass operation, copying a stack and status related to related to status of a stack and etc. So, this is basically see how we can do using Java collection framework support. Now, here before going to having the facility of Java collection framework regarding stack related management, I want to mention one thing. There is no in its present what is called the SDK JDK 5 onwards JDK, there is no explicitly stack class is there. Now, this is interesting why this class is there, because stack is very important one concept. However, you can recall while I was discussing about the legacy class, there stack is there. So, class stack was earlier known, but later on Java developer has not included this class more. Now, the reason here is that the idea of the stack can be realized with the idea of the linked list itself. That means, if you know the linked list, you know stack actually, or if you have the benefits of linked list, you basically able to maintain the linked list stack. And further again I want to mention here is that in Java a stack is maintained not by using an array, rather using a linked list. More specifically, it is a double linked list, because linked list in Java is by virtue of double linked list itself. Now, but stack is there in Java, earlier it was there, but recently stack class has been deprecated, but still if you write a code, if you use the stack class, the legacy class, then you can have the many facilities about it. So, in this lecture actually we will see how in your code using the legacy class stack we can maintain the stack in our things are there. Now, so far the hierarchy of this class is concerned, as you see stack is a legacy class which is basically is an interface initially. This interface is basically extends this interface is a subclass of vector. So, that means vector is basically an array. So, using this array stack, that is why the legacy class basically follow stack as an array, not that linked list. But again you can recall the vector can grow dynamically, because that vector is written that way. So, this way stack is automatically grow, and that is why it is actually not a static, rather dynamic. Now, this vector and static and everything, they basically implements static list, where static list is basically is an implementation of list, and then this is the abstract collection, finally is the collection. So, this is basically hierarchy of the stack. So, now stack is basically available to you as a interface, but it has been implemented as a legacy class. The class is called the stack actually. Now, let us see what are the methods are there. So far the creation of stack using this class stack is concerned. Now, we are again repeating, I am telling again that this stack class is a legacy class. The method in this legacy stack class is listed here, few methods which are very important. As the name implies, you can understand about it. So, this method, if you call for a stack object, it will tell whether stack is empty or not. Now, pick is basically is the method just like a pop. It basically returns the element which is at the top of the stack, but there is another operation also pop. Pop does the same thing, but there are two different things. The operations are there. One thing is that peek will check the first element or topmost element, but not remove it, but pop operation will check the topmost element and remove it after checking also. So, this pop is basically remove operation we can say. And then there is another push operation. This is the usual insertion. Basically, if an element if you want to add into a stack, then you can call push operation for the stack object. Now, there is again search operation just like contents. If you want to search an item, if it is there in the stack or not, then you can call this method. So, these are the basically the different methods are there which are defined in stack class. Actually, you can note it, all these methods are defined in vector class. As the vector class and stack is a subclass of vector, so all the methods those are there in vector class also coming into the stack class also. But hardly we use all the methods those are there in vector in the subclass. I have listed, rather I have summarized or shortlisted few methods, those are important, and these are the methods actually so far the stack related operation is concerned will be used. So, that is why I have listed here. Now, let us have some programming exercise by which we can call the stack objects create a stack objects using class stack, right, which is defined in java.util.star. Now, first we will discuss how stack can be created using stack class. Now, in this class stack there is only one constructor, that is also default constructor. That means, if you want to create a stack, only you have to rely on default constructor. Default constructor does not require any argument to be passed to the constructor while you create an object of this class actually. Now, here is a simple example, just I advise you to follow it, and this example is basically stack create demo. We want to create a stack, and for assume that we want to create a stack of numbers. So, that is why we said we shall call this method, this the stack is a constructor is called for integer, because you want to store integers, and the name of the stack is stack. So, stack is the stack object we can say, which basically store integers as an item into it. Now, here is a few method we have called. You can simply println method you can call for the stack. So, passing an argument is stack, it will basically print if elements is there. So, in this case stack is just created and it is essentially an empty stack now. So, it will print nothing. Now, here again this is the one method you can call stack.empty for this. So, you can understand what it will return false. So, if you print, it will print false. So, this method is very quick demonstration to understand that how a stack can be created without any programming headache that we have already done in case of. So, you do not have to write any code, and then you just simply plug and play sort of thing. So, this you use this one java.util.stack, it will work for you. So, this is the idea that how a stack can be created, and here again the stack object that you can create is of generic type. That means, you can add objects of any type, however it is homogeneous. So, if you define an integer, then you should add only integer item or remove only integer item, but you cannot do inserting or removing of other item also. Anyway, so this idea about the stack creation is learned. Now, let us come to the discussion about basic stack operations. Few operations that you can apply to the stack object is listed here to check whether a stack is empty or not. Now, peek is basically, as I told you, it will just check it, but will not remove it, and pop operation is basically remove the item, push basically insertion, okay, and search is there. So, here basically so far the stack related operation, these are the methods that is basically useful. Now, using this method, let us have some example or illustration that how you can write a program where you can create a stack and some element can be added into the stack and can be removed, and then check the different operation called for there. Now, this is an example. As you can check this example, it is very simple. We can give the name of the example is stack operations demo. So, first we have to create a stack using constructor, we can do it. So, this is the stack of integers and the name of the stack is stack. So, this is the stack object, and then these are the things we have already learned about it. Now, so here stack dot pop. Now, here you can see if you want to remove or pop, you have to perform pop operation for an empty stack. It usually throw IO exception. So, you have to catch it, and then accordingly you can write code into the catch block that it has happened like this one. If you do not catch it using try catch block, then definitely it will gives an error. So, if you write to pop operation like this one, so I should advise you to enclose the code within the try catch block and write the catch block code there. If some exception occur, what to do it. So, I have not listed here try catch block, but you should do it while you running. Sometimes you will not be able to compile the code without try catch block, as you all know that. So, exception handling is the must routine for some code. There should be exception handling try catch block to be included. Anyway, so you can add the try catch block, particularly for the pop operation or push operation. Better to write a throw exception here also, that will serve your purpose. Anyway, these are the different issue that you should take care while writing the robust program. Okay, fine, we have discussed about creating a stack and then how the different operations are there. Let us continue this program to have the few more statements, the codes are there. Now, in continuation of this program, I can add few statement like, okay, these are the obvious push operation you can understand. So, basically go on adding numbers. So, as integer we cannot add any name here because it is a stack of integers only. Now, here you can perform several operations. So, printing the entire stack using println, again using iterator also you can do because it is also a collection. Iterator method, printing a collection is iterator method that you can use it, but I did not use it here, simple println is fine. Now, stack dot pop you can understand. Now, it is possible if we do it pop, in this case obviously what is the last element inserted. So, 444. So, this pop will basically return this value. Now, after pop operation, if you print it, you can see that it will print this stack, this one, because pop operation will remove this element permanently. Then stack peep, as you can see, it will return this one, peep is the topmost element again, and if you print this again, you will see the stack remains same. So, peep will just simply read the topmost element, but not remove it. Then stack search 22, it basically check whether 22 is there in the stack or not. So, it will return true if it presents, otherwise it false. So, you can see in this case it will return true and should. Now, after doing this thing stack dot empty, but at the moment after following this operation, stack is really not empty because it contains one element. So, it is basically return false. So, these are the few methods we have given for an illustration to understand that how the stack class can be utilized in your program to facilitate the stack related operations are there, and once those operations are there, you can again come back to the application either infix to postfix expression or expression evaluation following these are the so basic idea is that those applications are basically when to push, when to pop, and push and pop are the fundamental operation, that is all. So, this way you can do it. Now, there are few more important things are also to be learned regarding this stack operation is concerned, that is basically initialization. One very naive approach of the initialization is basically adding the elements one by one. Now, there are few more convenient way of loading a stack also. So, we will discuss this topic. So, loading a stack, and here is an example for you. You can check that how given an array of elements and then a stack can be initialized with all the elements that is there in the array. So, this is a program that you can consider array to stack example, and so that means given an array, how the elements from all the array can be added into the stack in the same order, the order of the elements in the array. Now again, as the array contain duplicate elements, so a stack also can contain duplicate elements, as I want to say, and vector also can include duplicate element, as you know. So all these things are there, but this is not an issue, because whether duplicate elements are there or not, all are unique element, that is hardly not matters. So only matters that operation, push and pop, that's all. Now here let us consider this example. First we create an array. Now here we create an string array. String array includes, these are the basically, you know, this string array includes an expression. So here a plus b star c minus 5, this kind of thing. So if you want to store an expression before infix to postfix calculation, so obviously you have to store the expression. How you can store the expression? Usually an expression is stored as a string, and then you have to parse the string to getting the token. So token is basically all symbols. Symbols are means either they are the operand or operator or parenthesis. These are the symbol. So read symbol method, you can understood why the algorithm I was giving. So read symbol means read a symbol in the string, actually is basically a token that it can return. Anyway, so I have just I have here in this example maintain one array, and that name of the array is called expression array. So this is basically storing an expression, actually arithmetic expression. And what I want to do is that I want to load the stack using this expression array into the stack, actually. So loading a stack using this array of expression, rather we can say is a string, actually. Now here you can see what I can do. I can declare a stack, and this stack is of type string, because I want to load all these value as a string symbol. So I should declare a stack of type string only. So this is the stack declaration using the stack class. So stack is the name of the stack object in this case. Now here I can add one item at a time using calling push operation. So I can do it for string s. This is a for loop. So for each string s in expression array, we just push the element into the array. So this is a for loop, for each loop rather. So using for each loop, for each element in the array we can there. Now you can recall there is no any other constructor like other linked list or linked list, for example linked list loading and everything, by which a collection can be given this one. But here you have to go one by one pushing item into this, and whatever be the elements or input that you want to push, absolutely no problem, because stack will automatically grow, because stack is a derived class of vector and vector also grow automatically. So this is the idea about how a stack can be loaded using an array of elements. Otherwise you can read each element from the keyboard, that is the standard input, and go on adding into this also, that is the one way. That also you can write a code instead of this one, you can do it. It is the same, it is basically input is taking from the array or input taking from the keyboard. That is the concept of input stream from a reading item or reading data, actually. Anyway, so this is the idea about, and finally this will print the stack that you have added into there, hold the stack elements, this will print same as express. So if you write system.out.println exp array and system.out.println stack, it will print the same thing, actually, because they are basically same set of collections, only one is made duplicated or copied into others. Okay, so this is the idea about how the stack can be loaded, either using an array of elements or it is from reading keyboard from the console based input, whatever it is there. Now, so this is another example. This example also tell you how an array to stack can be loaded, but in this case here you can see we create an integer array. So these are the integer numbers we can store. You can define long also, so capital long also, because these are the little bit lengthy number, an integer may not, but so integer L can be there. Anyway, so whether it is a long or integer, absolutely no problem. So you can create an array first, and this array is created with initialized with these are the 4 numbers, and then again using for loop for each element in this array we can go on printing, and finally we will print it, it is there. Now here can see, so this array, the stack actually contains all the elements. If you go on pushing another element, it will not be a problem, because it allows duplicate element to be added there. Now here again search. Now you can see search if it is performed here, which, so here basically the element that is top, the element that is in the top is 104, and if you give the push one, say this will be there. So search actually will search the topmost element first, so that is why the first element it is there. Now you can check it in which order the search works for you. If the many elements are there, you can see it anyway. So these are the example that you can see how the elements can be collected from some source, maybe array or somewhere others, and then they can be added in the stack, and then finally the stack is available to you to help you to perform many other operations on it. Okay, so this is the usual operation that is usually you have to follow while you are you have to use array in your solving your problem. There are few more things also that I can add here. This is a very interesting one program. You can see array list. Array list is also a collection. Now here is an array list. The name of the collection is list here. It is a type of integer. We can create an array list. It is like this. Then stack object is created. Now here stack add all is the one method which is defined in the class vector, but because all the method that we have listed earlier, they are not there, but add all method is, you can recall, it is defined in vector class. Now stack, as it is a derived class of the vector class, so we can call add all method for this object actually. Now here you can see for the stack object that we have created earlier for integer, right, you have to create a stack object first, of course. So it is a stack object is created which is initially empty in this case. Now initially empty stack, and if we add all passing this argument is a list, then what will happen is that all the elements which are there will be added into the stack in the same order 1 2 3 in that way. So this is the one idea about stack, and then if you go to the pip, so which is the top element, it will be shown to you. So third is the, in this case, the top element because it is added in that order. Anyway, so here this example is an interesting example that is how the bulk operation, that means as a collection you can add into a stack, and many other methods, those are defined again for the vector also you can apply here also. That is left as an exercise for you, you can just practice. Now opposite operations also can be there. Now in the last example we have learned about how a collection can be added into stack. Opposite operation is basically how a stack can be copied into a collection. So let us see some example for this. Now here is an example that you can follow. So this example gives stack to array list copy. That means given a stack, we want to copy all the elements which are present in the stack to a collection. The collection is array list. So what actually we require, first we have to have a stack. So let us, this is the stack and it has some element in it. So this basically having the stack at the moment. Okay, create a stack and load the stack with 3 elements. Now we want to copy this stack into an array list collection. So for which we should create a array list object. So list is the array list object and it is should be the same type as integer. So we create an integer objects like. Now here you see this important data. Now list is an array list. In the list class, in the array list class, there is a method add all. Actually add all method is defined in collection, and all these methods are implemented in all respective subclass of the collection. That is why add all method is also available in the array list. Now so if we can call add all for the object list, that means the collection, and passing an stack is also another collection. So it's basically copy a collection into another collection. So this way we can achieve how the entire stack can be copied into a collection, in this case array list. Now you can create another vector collection, that also you can do. So collection of stack into a vector or any other arrays or any other collection type actually. And then finally this is printing the stack and printing list. You can see both printing will print all the same items in them. So this is the idea, it shows that how the bulk operation and then copying stack can be done, and in many occurrence, many situation you have to copy from here to there and there to here, and that is why those are the useful what is called the discussion in the context of stack related application. Now, I just before concluding to have some few more operations on the stack, that is searching, then capacity, availability, and all these things are there. Even you can call the clean method to delete the entire elements on the stack and everything. Now, so there are few examples I want to discuss about it using a stack class again. So, this is a stack example java.util.stack or star whatever it is there. If you want to use many other class that is belongs to util.things also you can have it. So, this is the basically declaration of a stack. The name of the stack object is stack of cars. You know, if you want to have a game software development building, then playing cards like solitaire or whatever it is there. So, this actually you have to maintain many cards or whatever it is there, graphics and then other audio, video can be also included there, animation. Anyway, so what I want to say is that stack is required there whenever you want to play a game or you want to design a game. So, obviously, this example is not up to that kind of details that okay we are designing a game software here, but anyway I am telling you, if you want to plan set that kind of application software, you may have to use the stack for your purpose. Anyway, now let us see, we have declared a stack of type string, and these are the few add operation. Basically different elements are added into the stack. Then this is a user printing operation, printing. So, what in this part of the code, what we have done, we have created a stack of string objects and added some objects into the stack, and then we print the stack object to see that in which order they have added. It is the already we have learned about these things. Now, let us continue this program to learn few more what is called the code in it, to give it a little bit shape, like adding, removing, all these things are there. So, here I see stack of cars pop, you can understand what it will do. It is the topmost element will be deleted, and then after deleting it is printing, and then that it will print car at top also, it is see pop. Okay, so, car at top is basically here pop operation will return car at top actually and printing this one, the same thing that you can do it here. And then here current stack is basically after deletion what is the remaining elements are there, you can print it. Now, here if you see again you can apply the peek operation and you can identify what is the difference between peek and pop by executing these are the two statements after peep and after pop. You can understand that one remove, one does not remove, it kind of things are there. Anyway, yeah. Okay, so these are the basic operations we are already familiar with. I have just repeated it for your understanding again or exercising. My advice is that you can run all the codes that is presented here, and so that you can have the flavor about it, and you can also add some statement into the code, those codes, so that rewrite the code program and then you can learn it. So, you can do lot of experiments about it, and then you can think some game software, and then you can see using stack how it can implement. So, this is the innovative idea that you can think and you can learn. So, that will help you to gain the confidence about Java programming and particularly stack application in it. Now, this is another I am just expanding the example again, and this basically the same program that we have discussed in the last 23.7. This program here is basically same, but here we are using isEmpty, right. After performing that operation isEmpty already you are familiar. So, it is no more necessary to discuss in details. Now, there are few more operations that you can think about it. Here I have mentioned here. Searching the size is also there. That means what is the number of size is basically how many elements are present at the moment in the stack. So, the size method can be called for a stack object to have the size. Now, here the position search queen, that means if you pass an object and then you can search again. The method it is there defined in vector class again for the stack object. So, it basically search, and if it found, it will give the index at which location it is found. Okay. So, index actually, if it does not found any location, it return -1, and then you can just see whether the element present or not, you can check it. So, this is the method by which the capacity of a stack at any moment can be understood, and a search can and a stack can be searched for an item whether it presents there or not. And so, these are the pretty simple things. Those things are okay, you can have it readily available in your program, I mean to be used in your program. Now, traversing a stack, there is a different ways, all the item, because stack is a collection. So, all traversals those are applicable to collection is also applicable to here, like say iterator and then for each and simple print, but we will discuss about few operations like here. So, first we have to create, here we want to give a demo about how iterator can be applied to the stack object to traverse the full stack. Now, you can see push and pop operation is that the permissible operation, but here the stack class can allow you to traverse from top to bottom whatever the elements are there. Now, let us have an example. So, this example say the iterator over the stack. Now, first we have to create a stack, the name of the object that we have created here, stack of plates. Then we just place the element into the stack, plate 1, plate 2, plate 3, plate 4 is a string. Then here there is a traversal, it is called the for, which is a, this is called the lambda expression. Now, regarding this lambda expression we will discuss in details, not now because it is different topics to be discussed. So, we just simply okay, I mean keep on holding right now, but lambda expression is look like this. So, for each, then plate, if plate is present there, then you can just print it. So, it is the idea about the printing the element there, and you see the within this bracket this is there. So, it is the concept. So, plate and then print the plate if plate is present there in the for each, I mean in the stack of plates, it is the concept. So, this basically the idea about how a stack can be printed using lambda expression. Now, other than lambda expression, there is another usual operator of iterator also, those we are already familiar to, can also be exercised here. And here is you see you use the iterator for this object stack plates, and this is basically iterator object, and this iterator objects of type string, that means it iterates over the string objects. And for this operator has next and next, has next check that whether still their element is there or not. If it element is there, it basically return, and then return can be done by means of next method and print the method it is there. So, these are the iterator you are already familiar to, we have used in many occasions during the use of linked list and other also array list, arrays and everything. So, this is the way that array list stack also can be traversed using this concept. So, what I want to emphasize again, a stack is nothing but a collection, but only the stack whenever you have to apply it for certain application, restricting the operation insertion and deletion only at one end. So, that those things are can be taken place here also. So, here is another way. Now, a stack can be also traversed either from top to bottom and bottom to top also. Now, that also can be done by many ways, descending order traversals or this order also, but here we can do it in a little bit different way. You can check the code here. This basically again list iterator. See, earlier iterator is a simple iterator, a list iterator is there because array stack is also is defined by list also, because it implement the list class there. Now, so list has the iterator called list iterator. So, list iterator basically allow you to list in both direction, from left to right and from right to left, because list is basically double linked list sort of thing. So, using this list iterator you can traverse the stack in a opposite order. So, it is from bottom to top like. So, this code you can check and it will give you to traverse the stack in opposite order also. So, stack it is like this. So, whether it can be in order, reverse order or in order, that you can decide and accordingly you can apply it, but for the illustration I have mentioned that how the stack can be traversed in a different way. So, these are various ways by which a stack can be visited and its element can be added. Now, for your further study and everything, I should suggest you to go to the book. There you can find a lot of discussion regarding legacy class, and the link, the second link is basically the link of my course web page, where you can find all codes and detailed discussion about stack class also there. And then this is the tutorial material regarding details about the many methods and operation, those are there in the stack class. Okay, with these things let us conclude the stack concept here. We will move to another module discussing queue structure in the next class onwards. Thank you very much.